Welcome back to the show. It's an organization I was introduced to many, many years ago, and they do such incredible work here in our community, working with those with developmental disabilities, those that are on the spectrum, and really the name of it tells you all that they help with, and that is Live, Work, and Play. And I'm joined by co-leader and director of operations, Julie Kingstone. Julie, welcome back.
Oh,
Great
thanks,
to have
Derick.
you here. Keenan was here almost a year ago now, and we're going to get to sort of what's happened over that year, but tell everybody at home a little bit about Live, Work, Play and your mission.
Sure. Yeah, Live, Work, Play. Our mission is to help the community welcome people with intellectual disabilities, autistic persons, and people with dual diagnosis to live, work, and play as valued contributors in the Ottawa community. And so that kind of looks different for everybody. It's very individualized, so it can be from helping people live successfully in a home of their own to helping connect people to a job and to employers in our community, as well as people interested in just having fun in our community. So joining their local gym or finding a club or a sports team that they're really interested in. So it's all of those things that we help people with every day.
And that word welcoming is incredibly important. How have, you've been around for a long time now. I know there are challenges still, but have you seen a lot of growth in that welcoming of those, that are living with different abilities as you just described?
Oh, I think over the 30 years, definitely seen a huge change. From landlords to employers to we have 130 volunteers every year to just local venues like a gym or a mainstream club or class. And I think the one thing that we've learned is that the things that we have in common are really, we have to focus on those things. And all of us have a not belonging story.
Right.
And so really, if we can connect over knowing and recognizing that all of us have at one point in our lives have not belonged, and this really brings people together, and it's not that complicated, right? We're all human, and we all have common interests and like to do things, so we've seen huge changes in our community. It's still lots of room to grow and improve, but huge.
I mentioned, it's been a year, and a lot has changed since then, the biggest change being that you're in a new place, and you were kind of forced to find a new place,
true.
Right?
Yeah, we were located in a building that had flooded in 2017, and then everything got back to normal. And then just this past August, people might remember there was some hail and some flash flooding in Ottawa.
We're seeing the photo here just to give you a heads up.
That's it.
That was the building you were in.
So we were on the 4th floor, so our office actually wasn't impacted, but the building was. So there was the landlord had to make some pretty hard choices and decided that they weren't too sure if they could bring the building back up to standard. So everybody in the building was given notice back in the fall, and thankfully we had been using the meeting room and training rooms over at Bayview Yards the latter half of the pandemic for our staff meetings, and approached them to see if they had a little office that we would rent, and they were like, of course, this would be great addition to our community. So as of October, we've been there, and it's been a great, really positive evolution of how we're doing our work.
Yeah, and I didn't really have a chance to celebrate because it was so quick, right, to move in, and you couldn't really invite everyone in to say, hey, this is a great new space, we're so proud to be here, and you've got an open house coming up Tuesday of next week, right?
April 2nd, 1 o'clock. If you're interested, you can visit our website and RSVP, but we'll have some tours and some light refreshments and just an opportunity to connect and check out the new space.
Something else coming up is your Make A Buzz auction, and that's been going on for many, many years. May 10th, I believe it is. May 10th.
Yeah.
Tell everybody at home a little bit about that, and you have changed the way it works over the past few years.
I mean,
right?
yes, we used to have two kind of separate events. One more focused on raising funds, and the other one really focused on celebrating our partnerships, our collaborations, and the lives of people we support and our volunteers. And we sort of merged those events together a few years ago, which is now known as Make A Buzz. So it's a dinner where we invite people we support, their family members and support networks, volunteers and partners, and really celebrate the last year. So we look at celebrating people's lives with Rob Moore Good Life Award, as well as inclusive employer awards for the private sector and government employers, as well as community connections and ambassador awards and volunteer awards.
Right.
So and we also have a silent auction component where just for fun, we have some items that people can bid on throughout the night. And so it raises a bit of money, but also really it's about connecting with each other and celebrating the successes.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun. I remember it used to be a live auction, right?
Yes, I remember.
Sandy Sharkey and
Falling through the stage.
And falling through the stage, right? And I think we auctioned off like something like 35 items or something like that.
Yes.
And probably one of the reasons why you switched over, right, to it being more of a silent auction, because it was a long night, I guess.
Yes.
Is that some of the, am I right in that? Or?
I mean, the pandemic sort of hit, and so we did take that. We continued to do the event online, and so we changed it over to a silent auction because of that. And then we realized that, yes, you know, the live auction, a lot of people enjoyed the entertainment of the live auction, for sure. And so it's not like we'll never do that again, but definitely the silent auction was just something that's easy to, people can start bidding ahead of time before the event, and people seem to enjoy that as well. So
a lot of people that are going to be there are partnerships that you've created for employment. Let's talk a little bit about employment opportunities and how that has been, because the pandemic, a great effect on a lot of those employment opportunities, right, Julie?
Yeah. So before the pandemic, we were really saw a lot of momentum with the with hiring within the federal government, which was new for us, a great opportunity, but also with the private sector. And we actually had started bringing together champions, employers who had hired through LiveWorkPlay, and they got them together to start using their personal and professional networks to go talk to vendors they use in their business or through their local business networks to share their success story and encourage other employers to consider hiring a person with a disability. But not just because it's, you know, a nice thing to do, but because it is actually helps your business. And so we had a great volunteer group of champions, and we were getting about 70 to 80% of our job leads through their personal professional networks. And then the pandemic hit, and so there was two things that happened, right? Our community closed, and so there was less opportunities for employment. And people lost their jobs because retail and restaurants and all that kind of stuff.
And less support, right? Because of the pandemic. And Make a Buzz available to the public if they want to get tickets?
Yes, on our website, and we'll be celebrating employers and community partners.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Julie. LiveWorkPlay.ca, by the way, to contribute in any way. We'll be back with more right after this.